Hey guys! So tonight we're going to be talking about one of my very favorite topics, and that is social media and how all of you are just going to completely dominate it after this webinar tonight. So I know a lot of you are already familiar with the various kinds of social media we're going to talk about, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, but hopefully you'll be able to grab a couple of tips and tricks that maybe you didn't know before. And for those of you completely new to, let's say, Instagram, which I know a lot of you might be, or Pinterest, if there's anything I don't go enough in depth about, you can always message me and we can chat about it more like offline. So let's get right into it. The first slide is how to dominate and expand your network. So this is something that initially a lot of people struggle with. We all have our warm market, which is our friends and family that we already know. It could be people we went to school with, it could be people we worked with, it could be neighbors, whomever. But your warm market is people that you already know. And as most of us know, we've run through that warm market pretty quickly when it comes to reaching out as far as them being potential customers or potential coaches, right? So the first thing we need to do when we are creating our brand for ourselves on social media is just to simply be yourself. I notice a lot of people on social media, not necessarily any of us, but it looks like they're trying really hard to be something that maybe they're not. So maybe they want to be this person that's really into yoga, for example. But it just doesn't come off as genuine. They might be doing the right poses or they might be using the right words, but it just doesn't come off as real. So we want to make sure that however we're presenting ourselves, it's very genuine and it's exactly who we are. So for me personally, I struggle a lot with being like a fitness persona. Like I don't necessarily think of myself as a fitness guru at all. So to brand myself as somebody that just knows a lot about fitness and nutrition in general is just not real for me. That's not who I am. Who am I? I'm a mom of 2 little kids, a wife. I work from home, and I'm growing a business from my home. So I live in Florida. I like fashion. Those are just some things about me. So that is what I share. My social media, if you follow me, is probably 10% fitness and 90% everything else. And that's just how I've connected with people. I don't think any of us need to connect with people by being a fitness coach necessarily. That might not be how you appeal to someone else. And I think that might be the most important thing that if you take from this webinar tonight is you don't have to be this, amazing fitness person in order to be a successful coach. Some coaches are, some are really, really successful, personal trainers before they even become a Beachbody coach. Some have a great wealth of knowledge about nutrition, and those are amazing things to maximize on if that's you. If it's not you, don't pretend it's you. Share the things that you know about and that, just embody who you are as a person. And that's really what it's all about. Open up and show people you. Be vulnerable. So building relationships stems from that. The things that embody who you are, like I touched on that I'm a mom of 2 little boys, 2 and 3 years old. So a lot of what I build relationships on is just regular mom life, toddler mom life, other boy moms, for example. So I build relationships based on those sort of things, who I am. And by sharing who you are with these people, you're going to earn their trust. And that is what is going to make them want to, number 1, follow you back. But number 2, and most importantly, want to potentially work with you in some capacity of your business. get over your fear of rejection. Man, that's huge and it's so hard. I totally understand that. I know that I struggled with it a lot myself. Um, but it's not something that, can completely cripple you if you take some time to work your way through it. For example, probably took me about 6 or 7 months before I really took this Beachbody business and I made it into a business. I was just afraid of reaching out to people and asking them, like, do you want to do a challenge group with me? Or do you want to buy, a challenge pack? And I was just really scared of that. And so I just let myself ease into it. And that's okay. It's okay to ease into it. But at the end of the day, you need to be okay with somebody saying, I'm not interested right now. And no doesn't mean never. And so it's okay if you want to ease into it, if you don't feel right off the bat like you're ready to jump in. I'm not telling you get over that fear, you're 2 days as a coach, do this. No. Be comfortable with it, but also, let it sink in that it's okay to hear that I'm not really interested right now, and just prepare yourself because you're going to hear it. And think back to when whoever introduced you to coaching, maybe they said the same exact thing. Maybe they said something to you about purchasing or becoming a coach, and you said, not right now, I'm not really interested right now. So get over that fear of rejection. Make your profiles public. I do feel really strongly about that for Instagram, mostly because it's hard to really network with hashtags if your profile is private. And I know a lot of people have concerns over the creepers of the world, and yes, they're out there. But when you think about it, and I've said this before, if you have 1,000 people following you, it's most likely you do not know all those people. So even if you are keeping your profile private, there are still creepy people that could be looking at your picture. So we need to move on from that and get over that, and focus on the people that, you can help. And that's really why we want to be public. We want to be helping as many people as we can and reaching out to as many people as we can. And by doing that, you kind of need to take that next step and make your profile public. For Facebook, my profile is actually private, but I make specific posts public. So probably about 80% of my posts are public. Pictures I share of my kids, maybe personal things that I'm posting that are not relevant to Beachbody at all, I'll keep friends only. So you have that flexibility, which is great with Facebook. But with Instagram, I do really recommend you taking that into consideration to make your profile public. Consistency. This is huge. This is probably the biggest thing we can talk about tonight. You cannot post on social media every 3 days and think people are going to be interested in following you. They're not. I, rule of thumb, post at least 5 times a day. You space it out through the day. The day's a long day. So 5 times really isn't that much. Morning. So what's something I'd post about in the morning? Breakfast. What did I eat? Maybe my coffee. Maybe a picture of my kids eating breakfast. Maybe it's a little quote. Sometimes I like to post little coffee quotes. A lot of people, really get into those on Instagram when you are working with those funny quotes. And then, moving into the afternoon, maybe I'm posting my lunch, maybe I'm posting what I'm doing throughout the day, but really being consistent and posting every single day. Is how people are going to really be interested in following you, and having a diverse thing that you're posting. So no one wants to see a picture of your Polar watch every single day showing that you burn 250 calories. Sometimes you could post a picture of your Polar watch, but on the most part, you're going to want to really vary it up. So posting 2-3 times a day, minimum. I post about 5 or 6 times a day. That could be a status post on Facebook. That could be Instagram picture posts. Just throughout the day, I like to stay consistent on social media. But rule of thumb, at least 2-3 times a day, every single day. Fall in love with social media, love it. We all have these great lives. We really do. And embrace those things in your life that are awesome and share them with people. Not that we have to put on this front that life is all sunshine and rainbows, because sometimes I'm posting about my kids destroying my house. But people like that because they're like, oh, I'm not alone. My kids wreak havoc on my house too. So we all have these great lives. We all have, trials and tribulations that go on every day. So share it because that's what makes you relatable, and that's why people are going to want to follow you. Planning out your week. I do Sundays. I write out on every Sunday kind of my game plan for the week, what I need to do, what I want to do, whether it be, new coach announcements, whether it be announcing a challenge group, whether it be whatever it is. I try to get an idea of what I need to post, and then I kind of post things around that to buffer it out. Something I've noticed, and this is a little tip, if I'm planning on posting something Beachbody related, I'll post something 45 minutes to an hour beforehand that's completely unrelated, but something that might gain a lot of traffic. So something I've noticed that gets a lot of traffic, like I was saying before, are those quotes, like funny e-cards, and I will tag, I'll hashtag, a bunch of non-related, obviously fitness-related hashtags, quotes of IG, Instagram quotes, etc. I will hashtag a bunch of things to get a lot of visibility to my page, so people are heading over there. Then I will post something about Beachbody that I'm hoping gets a lot of visibility. So it's very strategic the way you post things, and that's why I say plan out your week. Know what you want to post throughout the week so you can plan your other posts around the ones that might relate to Beachbody. I mentioned buffer because a lot of us don't have the flexibility to be on social media all day. A lot of you work full-time jobs, and so you can't be on the computer. Buffer and Hootsuite are two applications you can use where you pre-schedule your posts, so you can have that social media presence even though you're not actually on the computer. So definitely something to look into. Our next slide is all about Facebook. So as you're building your brand, you want to remember that everything you post on social media is being seen by your followers. So we want to be an inspiration. We want to motivate people. We want to be positive. And that is not saying, like I said before, we don't want to be fake. We don't want to be all sunshine and rainbows. We want to say when things might not necessarily be going fantabulous. But that is not to say that every day you want to post, I'm miserable, my life sucks, I hate everything, I'm fat, I'm ugly, nobody likes me. No, you don't want to post those things because nobody wants to read that. Nobody wants to see that. It just brings them down. And so you can't post one day, I'm running this accountability group, I'm so excited, I can't wait to have people join me in this, and then the next day just be all mood and gloom because you're confusing people. They're like, wait a second, I don't know if I want to join your accountability group. You're kind of bumming me out. So be real, but don't be negative. I mean, you don't want to see other people posting negativity, so you don't want to post it yourself. When something bad happens, which happens, make it funny. Like, put a spin on it. There's one time that my kids got into baby powder and they dumped it all over the room, all over themselves. They were completely white, covered in baby powder. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to take like 4 hours to clean up, because if any of you have ever dealt with baby powder, it gets into every crevice possible. But you know what? It was funny, and other people could maybe think it was funny. So I'm posting about something that could kind of be negative, and I was kind of mad, but put a funny spin on it, and then you've just got a lot of attraction on social media. People, are looking, and they're like, oh, that sucks for her, but that's pretty funny. So just think about that. Pick 3 things beyond Beachbody that represent you and post about those throughout the week. Fashion, parenting, travel, a hobby. That's what I was touching on earlier. I'm a mom. I'm into fashion. Those are things about me that I can post about that have nothing to do with fitness. You want to find those things about you. Make a list. With a lot of my new coaches, I tell them to make a list of things that embody who they are, that have nothing to do with fitness. And then work out how you can kind of plan those types of posts around those hobbies or those attributes, those qualities about yourself that could be interesting. to somebody else. So it's very important you find something about yourself that others can relate to outside of Beachbody and outside of fitness. Make a good first impression. We talk about selfies all the time in our business, but your profile picture is the first glimpse people have of who you are. So don't pick a picture of your cat, or don't pick a picture of a lizard or anything like that. You want to have a picture of yourself, maybe somewhere you were at that has a really pretty background, even a headshot. It could be you and your spouse. It could be you and your child. I would really veer away from having your profile picture of your child. It's hard to network with someone when they're chatting with you and all they see is a picture of your baby. Because remember, this is our business, and we're using this as a business tool. So people want to be able to see your face when they're talking to you through the computer. So make a good first impression. Use a profile picture that shows who you are. Quality versus quantity. When posting, you want to be engaging always. It's not necessarily posting 6 times a day. If you're posting, hey guys, I'm hungry, what do you guys want to eat? It's boring. Nobody, you might not get a lot of traction. So like we were talking about pre-planning your post, really think and put thought into the kinds of things you're posting that people will be interested in responding to. Think about the things that you respond to on social media that stop you from doing the scroll, that make you want to click that like button, click comment, and put something in there. Timing is everything in this business too. We say highest traffic is between 7 and 9 a.m. and 4 to 7 p.m. That's me. That's just what I've noticed in the past couple years of being a coach. If I post something between those time frames, I'm going to get a lot of feedback. If I wait too late into the evening, I lose people. So that's just me. Everyone will be different on this. But what you need to do, and why I'm mentioning this, is you want to figure out what time of the day that people are responding the most to your specific posts. So that's pretty important. Let's move on to the next slide. Your Facebook affinity, use this to your advantage. Be strategic in posting, asking opinions. That's a great way to engage. Time to get a new phone. I'm deciding between the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. What do you like better? I actually did post that, and not strategically. I really was curious what people thought, but it did get a lot of feedback. And I actually got a ton of new people that ended up following me after that post. So, stuff that can be engaging like that is pretty important. So say you get 47 likes and 52 comments, Facebook will now allow all those people who you got engaged to see your next post. So naturally you'll post next about a challenge group transformation or coaching opportunity. That's what we were just talking about a little bit ago, with strategically posting something that is going to get a lot of traction and then posting something Beachbody related, because all those people are now going to see that post. Join Facebook groups to find followers. This is a way to network on Facebook and find new people and connect and network. Some of the groups I've joined on Facebook are crunchy mom groups, natural mom groups. I'm into a lot of natural remedies and a more natural parenting lifestyles, what I follow with my kids. So I'm in a lot of groups like that. Baby wearing groups is another thing that I'm into, so I'm in a couple groups there. Disney, I'm a Disney freak, if you guys don't know that already, so I'm in quite a few Disney groups. Juicing recipes, blogging, etc. Find those things about you that have nothing to do with fitness where you can get into a group and really network and engage with people like you. Become active and post once in a while and become known. As you find people you're interacting with, send them a PM to chat more. You don't want to go into these groups guns blazing and post, 5 times a day. You want to work your way in there, kind of introduce yourself, network with people, ease your way in. And then I don't necessarily post about Beachbody in these kinds of forums. I mostly find people in the groups that I connect with, and then I friend them, and then I network with them through PM, a private message. And that's how I use those groups as like a networking tool. Let's go to the next slide and move into Instagram. A time saver. When you post on Instagram, use the option to post on Facebook at the same time. That's called cross-posting. So something that I do with posts that maybe I don't mind if I get a huge ton of traction, I will use this feature. I also have a Twitter and a Tumblr account. I'm not really going to go into those today, but a Tumblr is a blog. It's more like a photo blog. So it's just like an easy way to get into blogging, but not necessarily have a lot of text content. And we can definitely talk about that another day. I have a blogging bootcamp group as well. So if any of you are interested in that, let me know and I'll get you added in there. But yes, cross-posting is great. You can make one post on Instagram and cross-post it to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. And that way you're not taking your time posting in several different places. However, let me say this, you do get more visibility on Facebook if you post directly to Facebook. So if there's something that I really hope to get a lot of traction on, I will post that separately to Facebook and to Instagram. It's just something with the algorithms that work with Facebook. If you're posting something that came from Instagram, you tend to get less visibility than if you post directly to Facebook. And also when you cross-post from Instagram to Facebook, if your Facebook profile is set to private, it will post friends only on Facebook. So you'll have to make sure that you go in and change the privacy settings on that particular post to public so that everyone is able to see it when you cross-post. Don't use stock photos. Yes, don't, because nobody really cares to see the cover of the box. Sean T, we all know what he looks like. People just, it's not an attention grabber. It never was for me, even before I got into Beachbody. I became a coach and I was just watching different posts. The ones that grabbed me, I'll use Stephanie Chico as an example because she's the one that really got me interested in Beachbody. She was always posting these cute pictures of herself working out. She would post these little videos, like little snippets of her doing exercises. And that was just cool to me. I'm like, I can't really relate to the stock photo of Shaun T, but I can relate to her working out in her living room with her kids, right next to her. So you want to show you. People don't really seem to care that I've seen about transformation photos that I post of, the Beachbody stock photo transformation photos. I think people have, feelings that those are not true. That maybe they're altered, they're photoshopped, and maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I don't know. I don't use them. I use real people's pictures. So I'll use different coaches' pictures on my team. I'll use my own. That's what, people want to see. They want to see you, or they want to see real people that they can relate to and they can believe like that is possible for me. These pictures I'm seeing, that's possible for me too. Now, generally those with private profiles, in my opinion, are better to follow because 9 times out of 10, they're going to follow you back. So what happens when you follow somebody that has a public profile is it's harder to really look through and, review back throughout the day of how many people followed you and who they were and how to really look at their profile. Sometimes it just gets lost in the shuffle. So when I am recruiting or I'm trying to interact with more people on Instagram, I tend to grab for those private profiles because they have to accept me. So they have to look at my profile first and then they accept me. And 9 times out of 10, once they've looked at my profile, they're like, okay, she's not creepy. I hope they don't think that anyway, but they're like, she's not creepy. She seems to have a cool profile. All right, I'm going to follow her back. But they're seeing you. So you have more face time with that person before they make that decision to accept you and then to follow you back. So if you're looking for more followers and you're really trying to connect with people, I just really recommend using that private profile feature. Not to say don't follow people with public profiles, but you have a higher follow back ratio if you try to follow people with a private profile. When someone's interested, comments on your post, you can say, hey, I'd love to give you more information about whatever, T25, 21 Day Fix. I'll send you a direct message so we can chat more. Bring it personal. Don't have the whole conversation through the comments. Especially pricing. You never want to put pricing in a comment When you throw out a $140 challenge pack, we recognize that value because we know Shakeology costs $130. We know the program like 21 Day Fix costs $60. So we see that value. $140 to a lot of people is a lot of money. And so you never want to just throw out numbers in comments. You really want to have that personal relationship with them and explain it in a private setting. It just goes over a lot better. When using the direct message feature, DM, you must send a photo. Choose a flyer they commented on, or an inspirational quote, or create a flyer with your name and contact info. I just find that having something that pertained to what they commented on in the first place is really helpful so that they're not like, what is this person sending me a direct message for? Or if it's a picture of yourself or something cute or funny, it's just something, more likely that they'll be like, okay, let me click on this. But yes, you do have to send a picture when you're sending a direct message. A way to get a lot of followers, and this is something my coach Ashley Campos does a lot, is shout out accounts. And if you follow Ashley, she's had tremendous success with doing this. I think she's up to almost 25,000 followers, which is incredible. You could see on the PowerPoint a list of names of those accounts to follow. But basically what you do is you submit your transformation picture to these accounts, and they will give you a shout out. It's a great way for people that never would have found you before to find you and to be inspired by you because they're able to see that, before and after picture. So that's a great way to network with people and to get a lot more followers. Hashtags. We've been talking on and off about the hashtags today. But they're crucial, and that's why that public profile is so important, because those hashtags you post are not searchable unless you have a public profile. A lot of you, as I'm talking about hashtags, are probably thinking to yourself, I use them, but I'm getting a lot of other Beachbody coaches that follow me, and it works reps or Advocare or whomever, but it's not the people I want to follow me. So let's think about what kind of hashtags are you using? So here's some sample hashtags if you want to look at. Toddler mom is one I use a lot. Love to run, fashionista. Those are not related to Beachbody necessarily, especially running hashtags. If you're a runner, I try to use those a lot because there are so many runners out there that have no idea about Shakeology. And even if they're not interested in getting on a fitness program, they are a lot of the time interested in that nutrition supplement, which is Shakeology. So they're a great niche market to network with. Weekly trends is something I try to keep up with too, because all of Instagram uses these hashtags. It's something outside of Beachbody, of course. So Beachbody coaches might use them, but you've got a wide range of people that are also using these hashtags that will be looking at them and finding your pictures and posts. Motivation Monday, Man Crush Monday, Transformation Tuesday, Woman Crush Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, Flex Friday, Selfie Saturday, Sunday Fun Day. I like to use these because, like I said, it puts you into that huge pool of Instagram users that are able to search that hashtag and come across your profile. So fitness hashtags. This is where a lot of you might get that frustration of other coaches following you or other fitness related people that are not going to be potential customers. I use fitness hashtags not just because I'm not just looking for customers and coaches when I'm using social media. I really love social media and I like engaging with other people. So I use these hashtags simply to network. You never know, just because somebody might be using It Works or Advocare or Herbalife or whatever they're using, that doesn't mean they'll always be using it. In fact, I've had coaches that have switched from Isogenics and Herbalife and Advocare and have become coaches with me. So you just never know. You don't want to rule those people out. I know you don't want your whole following to be those people, of course, but I still use these fitness hashtags because I like networking with the fitness community. But you don't want to exclusively use them, or you will pigeonhole yourself into the same niche market that every other Beachbody coach might be tapping into. So that's where I talk about thinking outside the box. If I am in my fitness, if I'm doing a fitness selfie right before I work out, I like to tag the brands that I'm wearing because it brings you into this, again, this really broad market on Instagram of people that are searching things like Nike. Or I'll type in, my Polar, I'll type in Polar Watch, whatever it is that I'm wearing, Lululemon, I will, use that hashtag. And I feel like it does gain a lot more exposure than just the typical fitness hashtag. Mother Runner is one I use a lot. Again, talking about the runners. Florida Girl, I use that. I think a lot of people are searching, regions. So Florida, Southern, just those kind of things that have nothing to do with fitness, but they are who you are and where you are. So why not use them? If it can bring somebody to connect with you on a fitness post, So just think outside the box when you're hashtagging. Think about things that relate to the picture you're posting, but aren't necessarily what the picture is about. And let's dive into Pinterest. So Pinterest is one of the forms of social media that is not as commonly used, but it's something that you really can tap into and have a lot of success because so many people use Pinterest. The main thing that I'm going to mention to you guys is keeping that profile clean and organized. So you might have the different pin boards, but keep them organized and titled as to what they are. If you're going to have Shakeology recipes, for example, make sure that you are watermarking every recipe that you pin. We don't necessarily want to repin other coaches' recipes because that pin is going to link back to them. And then if they're interested in that recipe, who are they going to contact? They're going to contact them. So you want to make sure that you're creating your own flyers, your own recipes, and you're watermarking them with your name and you're linking them to you so that people that see them on Pinterest, they come back to you. So that's creating that business board. Like we were just talking about, uploading your own pins, flyers, recipes, now hiring posts, quotes, fitness videos, etc., and making sure that they link back to you. Add your URL to the post description. This could be your Facebook page, your website or blog. Something that I did and a lot of other coaches like to do is buy a domain that is a redirect to their Beachbody page so that you don't have to type in, teambeachbody.com/JenFitCouture, for example. I bought a URL that is shopfitcouture.com, and it just redirects to my Beachbody link, and that way I can give that to people and not give them that long Beachbody link. So that's something you could think about doing too, so you have a custom URL for, example, for Pinterest to use for that redirect link. Watch your followers and pinners. When you see someone has followed your board or pin your pins, check out their profile. This is a way to network. Follow boards of theirs that interest you so you can see their activity. This is just another way to get to know them better and to network even further throughout the Pinterest community. Once you notice someone pinning a lot of your fitness and health posts, you can send them a message. The picture is not required, and it is similar to Facebook messaging thread, which is great. The Pinterest messaging system is awesome. And again, super untapped market as far as social media is concerned. Find followers. Use the search to type in clean recipes or cardio workouts or juicing recipes or fitness fashion, whatever it is you want to go after to try to find potential people to network with. That's where you would do it. Click on a photo you like, scroll down below the image and see how many pins this image has. Click that number and see all pinners' interest in this topic. That way you're seeing a whole slew of people that you have potential with to connect with and network with. It's great. I mean, the thing is about Pinterest is so many people put fitness-related things on there, food-related things, and those people might have no idea whatsoever about Beachbody and maybe are not even tapped into Instagram. So you would never have met them unless you got onto Pinterest. So it's just another way to really reach outside of that warm market, go into that cold market, meet new people, and expand your social network. And one of my favorite quotes we'll end off with is, "People will stare, make it worth their while." So that kind of just sums up everything we talked about. People are going to be watching you. And even when you feel like you're not getting a lot of sales, and even if you're not feeling like people are interested or engaging in their posts, they are watching. So you want to stay consistent. You want to be posting every day. You want to have, engaging content that you're posting. You want to be appealing because people are watching. They're always watching. So I hope that this webinar tonight helped you. And like I said before, if you guys have any questions about stuff that I didn't go as in depth into, feel free to shoot me a message, and or you can comment in the board, and I would love to answer anything. Have a good night, guys.